Remember, if you like these videos, subscribe, hit the bell, do whatever you're supposed to do on the social media site, because once you start to understand what I'm showing you, these are the keys to consciousness. And we just looked at my cardinal sons, 12 houses. And those 12 houses are connected to the 12 cranial nerves, the glandular system, the dimensions, all of it. And so when we start to shift to numbers, we're looking at fractals. So my sister and I have lots of compatibility. Remember, my sons had a 1 here. We have a 10. The only thing that's wonky is this. And so that's why the long term is a 7, because we've spent a lot of time living apart. And when we do that, we're really solid on the inside. And so you rarely see these types of scores. Rarely. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 10s. Okay? Diane and I are the water element, sun and moon, in Pisces. We have a Capricorn rising, and this is our 3rd leadership role in the human collective mind. And unless you know how to lucid dream at night, if you don't know how to lucid dream, then you won't know what I'm talking about, because we are multidimensional beings. And when you go to sleep at night, you're supposed to leave your body so that it can heal. And if you're not doing that, if you're waking up or thinking you're not supposed to be sleeping, then you're going to miss it. And what is it? It has everything to do with becoming aware of your body and how it is actually co-creating this field of light through this combustion cycle. This is 5 elements, and these are the germ layers. So embryology, the germ layers, this is how the tissue is formed, and the lung and the large intestine are connected. The sense associated with the lung and the large intestine is skin, and the element is metal. And so the base metals in the body create the electromagnetic ground. And if you've got the base metals that are connected with the miasms, then you need to be integrating them right now. How's your brainstem? In my family, we're all alchemists, and we all have brainstem toxicity that we are integrating. So when you look at these, the spleen, the stomach, and the pancreas, the spleen is involved in all parts of the body. So if we went to this chart, we would look at the during the 4th week of gestation, so after the sperm penetrates the ovum, and just look at those, it's the staff and the circle. And so everything on a computer is made of 1s and 0s. And so if you see the sperm and the circle as a 1 and a 0, you start seeing fractal shapes. And so during the 4th week of gestation, this gastrula is formed, okay? And what comes from this is the gut and the spine. And they're 2 parts to one system. So we actually form these systems. So these are the systems, and these are the organs. And this is the clock that is pulsing the whole flow system through everything. And so when you look at this one, see neuroendocrine? It says right here, it regulates and regulates. This is the communication system, and it allows cell to cell and organ to organ communication to happen. All right, so this basically forms the spine, the gut, and the drainage system. Okay, so this one is purification, and what regulates it? The neuroendocrine system. And this is regeneration, of what regulates it? The neuroendocrine system. And how does the neuroendocrine system work? Well, we have these 12 hours of parasympathetic inhibitory neurotransmitters, which has to do with melatonin. And all melatonin comes from serotonin. And 95% of serotonin is made in the small intestine. So where's small intestine time? Where is it? Look at that. Small intestine time is nap time. And for children, you want to actually get in bed in heart time to take a little siesta, because most people wake up during liver time. And this is when we shift from the repair cycle into the create cycle. Okay? And so when we actually take these charts and start using them through a daily cycle, that's when you start to understand them, because the gallbladder actually feeds the liver. And so if you have gallbladder issues, what's going on with your blood? What's going on with your liver enzymes? The way that the body shows degeneration is it would back up here. And so this is actually supposed to drain the lung and the large intestine. It pumps the whole lymphatic system. And so if we have a lockup on our lungs from shock and trauma, we're going to see the results in the liver and the gallbladder. Okay? This triad here, look at how this is supposed to be the mother that nourishes the heart and the small intestine. So if you have hot flashes or any kind of hormonal imbalance or anything like that, it's heart, small intestine. This is the gut-brain connection. Because the small intestine actually makes the brain. Okay? The brain buds from the small intestine. And so you want to think of this as the brain. Okay? And so the gut-brain connection is really important, and each of the elements are related to a planet, a mineral, a metal. And when you move into the fractal world, you start seeing the whole world reveal itself. You start seeing yourself as a co-creative being. And you're doing it because you understand the intentional field. You can remember that when we're looking at the vibrational signature of a human being, that each and every one of them had a location point where they came into this world, that they came from a water womb, and the first breath that they took set the rhythm and the tone. So my twin sister was born 7 minutes after I was. And it makes all the difference in the world. My primary node, my north node, is in the sex, death, and transformation house, which means I'm connected to the dead ones. I have been helping people transition since I was a small child, whether they were animals or humans. And the primary thing that I need to bring to people is an understanding of sex. My twin sister's north node is in the 7th house, which has to do with marriage and partnerships. And so she's my true love. We have identical DNA, but our health constitution, our 5 elements, which came from the breath. And so when you have the human body, you've got the water body. And then as the breath moves through the water, the first breath the individual takes is not just going to be what's going on in the room. It's going to be the space between the people in the room that's related to the planetary cycles, because everything's connected. It's all connected and it's all spinning, and you won't know this unless you come out of shock. Okay, so Cancer is a result of shock. And so Diane and I found a company that actually put together 7 products that allow us to open these main channels. So there's support for absorbing water and balancing minerals, which really helps with this, because when you look at electromagnetism, it takes place through water. So how much water are you drinking? And what is it? Does it have synthetic minerals in it? If it does, don't drink it. The only kind of minerals you want to be drinking are from spring water. So that's naturally occurring minerals. And when we first started testing water in Colorado through the International Academy of Bioenergetic Medicine, we found Fiji water and El Dorado Springs to be some of the best waters for people in the state of Colorado. The gut, you've got to have digestive enzymes. You have to have them, because the food isn't real food, it's frankenfood. And if you think you're healthy because you're vegan, but you're eating food that looks like it comes from dead animals, like you have a vegan burger, so gross, yuck. It's not real. And so you want to read the ingredients that you're eating, okay? And actually understand your health constitution, because you can't become conscious without understanding you're a unique being. So these are the liver and the kidneys. Do you see how the kidneys look like the ears? So they are. And so if you look at the kidney bladder time of the day, the bladder and the bladder feeds the kidneys. And so if you have bladder issues, prostate issues, you've got kidney congestion 100% of the time. And that means that we've got to get the water and the food right, because whatever you're ingesting and smelling and inhaling, if you're in pollution, you need an air purifier, you need a water humidifier. You've got to have these certain things in place. Pericardium time, this is the heart sac. It's the energetic sac around the heart, and it's related to the number 8. Okay? And so if we actually convert the time on this clock to military time, it's going to be easier for us to convert to the language of love, because 3 o'clock here, over here, this would be 1500, right? Which is 15 is the gonads and the thyroid crack open the pineal gland. And it's considered the spiritual alchemist if you've got that vibrational frequency. So at bladder time, this is when we want the workday to end